Talk to
Hello?
me. Yeah, give me some words on that.
I'm still on my week.
Well, how have the last 7 days been for you?
Let's just say that wasn't expected.
Okay. Things happen
can
that weren't expected. That's great. So what fraction of the week has passed?
What fraction of
1/7.
okay, today's Friday?
And Cam, without your hand in front of your face, buddy.
Come on. So today's
6/7.
6/7. So how do you define a week? A week starts on what day and it ends on what day?
It starts on Sunday and ends in Saturday.
So Sunday and then Monday and Tuesday and Thursday and Friday. So the way you look at it, Cam, we are 6/7 done with our week. Now, Zayaan, do you look at it the same way?
No, because in the Islamic calendar, we don't believe that we don't think that I don't think that Sunday is the first day of the week.
What do you, instead of telling me what you don't believe, tell me what you do believe?
I do believe that there
Let's
is.
talk.
I couldn't hear you there, Zayaan.
Never mind.
You want some to drink?
So let me ask you this, gentlemen.
Let me get you some to
The
drink.
week begins on Monday. What fraction has passed? And Zayaan, I'm going to ask you to do this one first.
So Friday, so what day is the last day? Then
Well, if Monday is the first day, then
Friday.
no, then Sunday is the last day because there are always 7 days in a week.
Oh yeah. I forgot.
And so
Okay.
Cam, what do you think?
I think the fraction
Exact same thing.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think 6/7 is passed if Monday is the first day.
Think about it, kid.
I like your glass of water. It's a very fancy glass, Cam. I like that. So Zayaan, have you been able,
7.
Zayaan?
5/7.
Right. Very good. 5/7.
Because 5 plus 2 is equal to 7, and 5 days of the week has passed.
Now, guys, the fraction 1/7, it is a very lonely fraction. Not many people talk about the fraction 1/7. Everybody always wants to talk about 1/2, which is what?
If you have a full piece of, if you have a full circle of pizza,
Yes.
a 1/2 is you just cut it in half. Then you have one part and one part. And can I tell you something?
Well, hold on, Cam. Yes, you can, but hold on, Cam. Do you know what percentage is 1/2? Cam, when I ask you a question, it's not a
He
yes
said
or
yes.
no question. I know you said yes, but it is not a yes or no question. It is a yes, and then if it's a yes, you share what that percentage is.
I don't know the percentage.
So the answer is actually, so what is the answer then, Do you know the percentage of 1/2? You would say
No.
no. Okay, good. Now, Zayaan, do you know the fraction, the percentage of the fraction 1/2? Guys, if one whole is 100%,
Get your food. Pay attention.
now, Cam, can you answer the question?
Can I
What
say
is one?
Yes. What is it?
50?
One whole is 100.
50%. 50%.
50.
Exactly.
I said it first.
Exactly. The other fraction that everybody wants to talk about is 1/4. And I'm going to ask you guys the same question, but don't yell it out. Raise your hand if you know it. What percentage is 1/4? If 1/2 is 50%,
20%.
well, remember I said don't call it out, but it's not 20%.
Oh.
And Cam, let's think about that a little more. Zayaan, what do you think?
52.
I think like
One.
how much one part is.
What is 1/4?
I think it is 1/4.
It is definitely 1/4, and it is half of 50%. If you know what half of 50 is, you know what
What's half of 50?
it is.
25.
Oh,
25.
yes, Cam, you nailed it. Beautiful,
Okay.
beautiful job. Now, I'm going to ask you one other crazy question, but it's not so crazy because every time I have a pizza that's cut up into 8 slices, I always think about what percentage is that pizza. And so if you are thinking, what is half of 1/4, what would you say that is? So 1/8 is half of 1/4.
10.
Think about it, kid. Think.
And one thing you guys might want to do with this question is you might want to think about it as taking 25 and
15.
cutting 25 in half. So
What's
Cam,
25 in
think
half?
about 25. Can you guys partition the number 25 for me? So 25 would be what plus what?
Let me see.
Come on, 20 plus
20
what?
plus 5.
Awesome. And Cam, what is half of 20?
10.
10.
And Zayaan, what is half of 5?
Um, 2.
Well, that's half of 4. So
But
Cam,
if 5 is an odd number, how will you divide
No
it?
idea. Is it
Well,
the number?
let's think about that.
Two and a
Cam,
half.
what do you think, buddy?
2.5.
Oh, check it out. Zayaan, 2 and 1/2 is exactly half of 5 wholes. Very, very nice. Now, gentlemen, if you add 10 plus 2.5, what do you get?
10 plus 2.5.
12.5.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. And gentlemen, you have just solved the riddle. What percentage is 1/8? It is 12.5%. Now, there are so many wonderful fractions out there. 1/7, we still haven't talked about that, but it's a very, very interesting fraction. Let's actually draw something that I think will help you quite a bit. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to draw you these rectangular bars that represent 100%. So every rectangular bar represents 100%. And I'm going to make a few of them. I'm going to copy them,
Damn. What is the
copy them, copy them, and copy them. And let's actually put them side by side, because one of the things
Kim, you have to wait.
really helps
Look,
is
that's
to
100.
try to
I
understand.
don't think I can hear you, Mr. Kramer.
Okay, you can't hear me right now?
That's what. No, I
Okay,
hear.
good. So we know, gentlemen, that 1/2 equals 50%. Remember, that is 1/2. That is 50%. Now, can you remember what is 1/4? What percentage is 1/4? Can you
What
say it out loud? On 3, 1, 2, 3, go.
25.
Ooh, you got it. So this is 25%, and that is 1/4. Now, we also have figured out 1/8. And Cam, do you remember what is 1/8? What percentage is 1/8?
12.
12 and a half.
And 12, it's 12 and a half.
Yes, and I asked Cam, so make sure, Zayaan, that you listen to that. And now, gentlemen, I am going to ask you this question, but I'm first going to highlight 1/8. I'm going to highlight 1/4. I am going to highlight 1/2. And now I want to ask you this question. What percentage do you think is 1/7? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this whole up into 7 equal pieces. So that is 1. And I want you guys to tell me if you can guess. And what are you doing there, Cam? What are you shaking really heavily? What is that, buddy?
It's my chair I'm sitting on, and I'm making my hand.
All I hear is the word hand. Can you speak a little more clearly so I understand?
I'm raising my hand.
You're raising your hand. Okay, so tell me what you think the percentage is for 1/7.
Mm,
Do
it's not that. I just wanted to tell you I have to go potty.
you have to go potty? Go, buddy. Go. You don't have to ask. You don't have to ask. And a man needs to go. Diane, what do you think it is? Do you think it's bigger than 1/8 or smaller?
Smaller.
So you really think that 1/7 is smaller than 1/8? 1/2 is twice as big as 1/4. 1/4 is twice as big as 1/8. Do you still think that when the denominator is smaller, that the fraction is smaller?
No.
Then is 1/7 smaller or bigger than 1/8?
Bigger.
Right.
Yeah, I learned that at school. I wanted to tell you that before, but I didn't really get it was the same.
And so what do you think is the percentage for 1/7? And you can literally look at 1/8 at 12.5%.
Kim, sit down.
And
Sit down. I'll know
look-
what you need. Sit down.
And you can look at 1/7. And what do you think, Cam? You can unmute yourself and tell me what you think is that percentage. You'd have to unmute yourself though, Cam.
I think it's
Okay, what is?
6.
Well,
Is it 6%?
you'll
Well,
have to
what's half of
up
12?
there, Diane.
Huh?
You'll have
Is
to,
it 6%?
I can't hear you, buddy. You have to speak up.
6.
Right? But what's half of 1/2?
1.
No, what's half?
1, 1, 4.
Is it 6%?
1, 4.
Well,
right.
do you think that a percent that is
There's
6 and 1, 4.
12.5 could be 6%?
Don't worry about it.
What do you say?
Do you think that a percent that is greater than 12.5 would be?
What's he asking?
Cam, what do you think, buddy?
6.5. 1/4. 6 1/4.
Well, 6 1/4 is half of 1/8, and that is definitely 1/16. That is a really, really small fraction, and
What's your
that
question?
is correct, Cam, and that is 6 1/4%. But I didn't ask you guys about 1/16. I asked you guys about 1/7, which is clearly bigger than
1/7.
12
That's right.
So you'd have to give me a number that's bigger than 12 and a half. So the number 6 is not. The number 6
Oh,
is half.
bigger than 12.5?
Well, you tell me. I mean, is 1/7 bigger than 1/8? Answer yes. And therefore, since 1/8 is 12.5%, what fraction do you think would be slightly more when it's 1/7?
Can you mute me?
What's 1/7?
I need to hear you.
Oh, I'm gonna mute Cam so I can hear you, buddy. Go ahead.
What did you say again? Because I couldn't really hear you.
Well, I asked you a number of times what the percentage for 1/7 is, what you think. And clearly it has to be greater than 12 and a half. And Cam, if you know, and there's no extra noise there, you can unmute yourself and tell me what you think, because I'd love to hear from you.
Isn't
I don't get it.
to me? I don't get it.
Well, Cam, I hear you
Okay.
say that you don't get it. I'm asking for a number that's bigger than 12 and a half, slightly bigger, a tiny bit bigger. Because as 1/7 is,
12?
well, 12 is definitely smaller than 12 and a half. And what do you think, Zayaan?
13?
Say it louder.
13?
13 is very, very close. In fact, gentlemen, it's about 14%. It's a little more than 14%, which is really kind of cool. Now, I was wondering if you could also tell me what is the percentage, and I'm going to put out another really fun fraction. And this one is going to require you guys to
Pay
really
attention
be
here.
thinking
I am paying attention.
about this next fraction. And I'm going to put it down below. And I'm going to split this up into exactly 5 pieces. So we are looking at a fraction which we call 1/5. Since there are 5 equal pieces of the whole, we are going to call that 1/5. And I want you to look at some of the other percentages and tell me which one do you think is the closest, and maybe you think that 1/5 is bigger or smaller than that. So who wants to take the first guess?
I think 1/5 is bigger. Because like how you
But
told me,
bigger than what?
like 1/4.
Oh,
No, smaller than 1/4.
right.
It's smaller than 1/4.
That is true. Now, that's a great place to start. So we know that 1/5 is slightly smaller than 1/4. And Cam, if 1/4 is 25%, what do you think 1/5 is?
So Kim, think about this, right? Think about the thing of money. If it's 4/4 is $1, how many 4/4 is $1, right?
Mhm.
So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So how much would 1/5?
And what I'd like you gentlemen to do is look at the 25%. The 1/5 is
Percent.
slightly smaller, So what do you think that's going to be, guys?
3%.
I'm listening.
3%.
I'm sorry?
3.
4, 6, 8, 10.
So you
2,
think
4,
it's
6, 8,
3%?
10. What percentage?
So you think it's 3%, Zayaan? Now, Zayaan, you know that 1/5 is bigger than 1/7. 1/7 is 14%. So you know it has to be bigger than 14%. It is slightly smaller than 25%. Now, another way for us to think about this is to take the number 100 and let's divide it by 5. And Cam, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself now. And I'm going to ask you, gentlemen, if you know, Cam, you have to stop talking for just a second. I'm going to ask you how many times 5 goes into 10, because we can use division. And say that out loud without your hand in front of your mouth.
2.
Excellent. And how many times does 5 go into 0?
What?
0.
And gentlemen, you have just found that 1/5 is exactly 20%. Now, we're going to do the same thing right now, where I am going to split up 100 into 50 pieces.
Are you
Now,
serious?
how many times does 50 go into 100?
2.
2 times.
Guess
50,
what?
100. 50, 100.
That is 2%. So if I have a big bar, and I take 1/50th, that bar right there is representing 2%, a very, very, very tiny, tiny piece. Now, what if I split up the bar into 20 pieces? How many times does 20 go into 100? Now think about it. One of the things that I heard, Cam, your mom was talking about money. If you have 100 cents and I want to know how many 20s make up 100, why don't you guys count by 20s and see if you could figure it out? Let's start. 20, 40,
5.
Yeah, 5. Actually, yeah, 5.
80, and Cam is right. It's 5. So if we take 1/20th, that fraction is 5%. Now I'm going to ask you to do 1/10. In order for you to do 1/10, write down 100 divided by 10. How many times do you think 10 goes into 100? Zayaan, are you writing that down?
Yeah.
How many times does 10 go into 100? Count by 10.
10.
Yeah, 10.
That is correct, gentlemen. 1/10 is 10%. 1/10 is 10%. Now, it is so much fun to divide numbers by 100. What if I said to you that I'm now going to ask you for 1/25th? That means we're going to split up a whole into 25 equal pieces. Let's divide 100 by 25. How many 25s can I count up to get 100? Let's count together. Go. 25.
5, 50,
25.
75, 100.
Well,
5, 10, 15, 20,
25,
25, 100.
25, 50, 75, And then, and then,
And 9 is 100.
and how many is that?
4.
4.
9 was correct.
So 4% is absolutely correct. Now, the last question I want to ask you. If I split up, now watch this. I'm going to do this with a square. I'm going to make a 10 by 10 square, and I'm going to ask you, what fraction is that little piece right there? And I'm going to tell you it is 1/100th. And I'm going to ask you what percent that is. So all you have to do is divide 100 by 100 pieces. How many times does 100 go into 100, gentlemen?
0.
I don't think so.
1.
1.
Oh, yes, Cam, it is 1. So that little piece right there is 1% of the whole. Now, your challenge this week is when you're eating food that is maybe rectangular in size, you can
What?
split that up with a knife with permission from your parents,
Look,
and you can actually figure out
wait.
what fraction of that
So,
food you
wait.
are eating. So for instance, if I were eating this piece, each piece is 1 what? Do you know
Each
what 4
piece-
times 4 is?
4 times 4, 4, 8, 6.
Yeah. Are you on mute? Are you on mute?
No, I can hear him perfectly.
Oh,
So
good.
what is
Because we have a
Okay.
grilled cheese that we can cut up in lots, in fractions.
Yeah. And
So
Kim,
cut it up in, yeah. So let's
oh my
cut it up.
gosh, look at that. Look at that. Now, gentlemen, since I have not heard 4 times 4 from you, I'm going to tell you that this fraction is 1/16, which we found out earlier is equivalent to 6 1/4% of the whole. And I want you, Cam, to take a safe knife if you can and cut that piece up into 16 pieces and go right ahead. Gentlemen,
Take your butter knife.
I will see you next week, and I'll send you this video, and I hope you guys have a great, healthy week. Bye, guys.
Goodbye.